And now, ladies and gentlemen, I will narrate for you this booklet entitled The Final Chapter by Eddie Marcus, social scientist, Paradise on Earth Unlimited, Marcus Priest Publishing. Introduction. This introduction is a compilation of newsletters, each expressing action taken in the past that preceded the most recent imprisonment. It colors the road to the big house and sets the foundation for which this final chapter is composed. Each news letter addresses a specific situation and yet maintains the tenor and flavor of the movement and mission of the goal, from hell to paradise. Fact sheet. At the age of 8 years, I knew I wanted to do the things on earth that Jesus would do if he was still here. At the age of 14 years, I experienced a miracle, the snake. God revealed to himself his power and his love for my life. God became bigger than man, him to whom ultimate authority belongs. At the age of 19 years, I went to college studying social science in an effort to learn how to fix the social problems of America. At the age of 23, I became a counselor with the Veterans Administration. I also became an entertainment producer and manager for Marcus Priest Enterprise, Chicago, Illinois. At the age of 28 years, having been exposed to as much dirt and filth in the business world and government, I quit entertainment and government service and found a job paying poverty wages. My mission was to live in poverty until I could show all who suffered from it how to get out of it. At the age of 29 years, I experienced another miracle, money falling from the sky. I stopped everything to commit totally to the end of poverty and the creation of prosperity for all people. My wife left and divorced me. I joined the Navy. At the age of 31 years, I saw enough corruption in the military by the Commander-in-Chief, President Ronald Reagan. I refused to take orders, was court-martialed, and later accepted an other than honorable separation from the Navy. At the age of 32 years, I recruited students for a university in the South. I also started a campaign to end poverty in America. Later, I moved to St. Paul, Minnesota, and continued studying how to end poverty. At the age of 33 years, I worked Inner City Youth League and got married a second time. At the age of 34 years, I stopped the social work and began traveling over the country on a faith mission without money to carry the message of God, superior to man and God's way of prosperity for all, superior to man's way of prosperity for the few and prosperity for the many. I was inspired to keep a diary of daily activities and called it American Christians on the Path to Hell. At the age of 35 years, I started a radio ministry called The Moment of Truth. The program lasted 3 years. I also continued my association with the religious community as a support base for such change. At the age of 38 years, having observed no major positive changes in America's social order, I decided to run for U.S. president as a possibility to promote change. I also started a death march to the nation's capital as a means to speak against poverty. Between the ages of 38 and 45, I ran for mayor of the St. Paul, Minnesota once, and as a write-in candidate for governor twice. I also sought after the White House again during Bill Clinton's first effort. The reason I kept after these offices is because I was the only one who could bring answers to the prayers of the people. I could, with the help of the people, fix our society, and still can with the message I bring. At the age of 40, I observed the country preparing to engage in a Gulf War, which had nothing to do with America's interest. I did not want to see one soldier die unless, uselessly, So I committed a crime in hopes of getting the media to do what it had never done, share with you my efforts, in hopes that together we would stop the war. The media didn't, you didn't, but I did, and went to jail for it without you ever knowing one thing about it. Between the age of 38 and 49 years, I refused to pay traffic fines and penalties that caused hardship on the poor, but no effort on the people with money. Many were excused. Others did time in jail for. Between the ages of 35 and 49, I have contacted nearly everybody that you consider somebody. Several U.S. presidents, several governors of Minnesota and other states, talk show hosts, entertainers, United Nations, media all over the nation, every church group you can think of, civil leaders, etc. Nowhere in America could I find anyone who was willing to do more than what was being done to help make things better for all citizens for the long haul. They didn't mind giving up a bag of grocery or donating to a charity, but helping eliminate the need was not their concern. At the age of 47, I committed my last crime. Even though on probation for the previous one, I decided to give up my freedom, my family, in fact, my life, for my dream that every citizen would have unlimited, unrestricted education and health care for life. Also, that each worker would have a job of choice, that each individual and or family would be able to meet their financial needs. This would eliminate poverty, which is the mother of crime and violence, ghettos and joblessness, homelessness, suicide, gangs, single parents, abortions, drug abuse, family abuse, hate, etc. With this action, I took the issues of the least of these to the court, and with the threat of every personal liberty taken from me, put this matter in the hands of the jury. Exonerate me and legitimize an open debate on the subject of replacing poverty with prosperity. Condemn me and continue business as usual. I was condemned. Considering that slavery, inability to vote, denial of public accommodations, etc., had all been legal at one time but changed by the action of people living today, I had hoped that through these court proceedings, the jury would be able to see the wrongs in poverty and give life to the dialogue for prosperity. Even though I admitted to the act, I knew that justice demands not only that an illegal act is done, but the motive and intent of the actor be considered as well. Now here I am, a descendant of slaves, identifying the shortcomings of man's economic system and advocating change, only to be judged by those same folk who like things the way they are. I speak against poverty, and I am judged by folk who know not poverty, judged by a stacked jury who promised the court that they would keep an open mind and punish me for the crime I confessed, regardless of motive and intent. Equally as disheartening was the fact I stood up in the court defending everyone who is a victim of poverty, yet I was the only poor person there. In fact, my lawyer, Phyllis Frederick, and myself were the only representatives of my position there. Poverty is a lack of money or material goods created by the social systems under which people are obliged to follow. Change is an expression of a system which denies poverty's existence. Paradise is a system allowing individual dreams to come true. There are many ideologies that could allow the establishment of paradise. One such ideology is God created man, and man belongs to God. God created things, and all things belong to God. God established in mankind purpose and the ability to fulfill that purpose. Each original purpose of man is interrelated one unto the other. Man brought nothing to the planet and takes nothing away. Thus, man's only ownership is his activities, or what he actually does here on earth. A people experiencing peace, prosperity, and joy is one who knows and appreciates the Creator and one another. To the degree that this does not exist indicates the degree of man's lack of understanding or disobedience to God and one another. To effectuate the establishment of paradise, Take those things that are common amongst people, like food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, and jobs, and guarantee to them one another. Take humankind's needs, wants, and desires, coupled with those things common amongst them, and allow the creation of jobs of choice, and there will not be enough room to contain the fruits of human labor. Everyone who wants peace, prosperity, health, education, and careers of choice should support this or similar initiatives, especially the church, but no one does, as far as this mission can see. Thus, no one taketh away my life. I lay it down in order to escape the hell we created here in Minnesota and America. I am scheduled to be sentenced on January 6, 2000, Ramsey County Courthouse, Judge George O. Peterson, 1:30 p.m. I feel like the true king of the world. I feel like the greatest lover alive. Crucify him.